Hi, everybody. Welcome back. It has been a week or two, I think, since I last posted. Let's see, what can I say? I know I have mentioned that I've had this year just started off with like somewhat a bunch of health stuff. Like I got sick twice and then like back to back, and then um I think I mentioned I had to go to the doctors because I was going to have surgery or something like that. Well, the surgery happened. It happened a week ago. That, like, as I'm filming this, it was a week ago. And yeah, it was my first surgery ever in my life. So that was a little traumatizing. They couldn't find my veins for the IV, and I had bruises to prove it. So I think that was probably the most traumatic part, was that they couldn't find them and it hurt. But other than that, I mean, it's surgery. I was out, so it was okay. And then recovery has been great. One of my biggest fears was that there was going to be some pain in the incision area and all that, and there has not. So I'm really, really, really thankful for that, because yeah, again, this is my first surgery, so I didn't really know what to expect, and there has been no pain. So I can't complain. But yeah, so if you are a woman watching this video, please check your body out, because I found a lump, and yeah, it could have been bad. It could have been the C word, and it's not. So I'm really, really thankful for that. But once they took out, the mass, they did find out that it was a sort of tumor mass, whatever, that could come back. So I'm just going to be kind of monitored a little bit for maybe like a few years, just to make sure that everything stays at bay, type of thing. But yeah, thankful to be alive, honestly. So yeah. And because of all those medical stuff, it's kind of made me, how do I say this? It's made me appreciate life more. It has kind of put a lot of things it's shifted my perspective. So I feel like there's things like my priorities have shifted just a tad bit. And honestly, I just think it's for the better. I don't think it's bad. As somebody who has struggled with mental health for many, many, many years, I'm really thankful and grateful for what happened, because I do have a new love and appreciation of life. So yeah. What does that mean for my YouTube? Well, nothing really, because part of my love is reading, and I love to read. And in my first video on booktube, the booktube newbie tag, I talked about why I like to read so much and why I don't like to take it for granted. And that's because my grandparents, one set of grandparents, didn't go to school. They were illiterate their well, my grandpa here already passed away, but he learned to read like when he was in his 60s, I think. And my grandma doesn't know how to read, write, or count money, like none of that. So she's completely illiterate. So I don't want to take it for granted. I really don't. And my other set of grandparents, I don't know about my grandma so much, because she died when I was fairly little. And my grandpa, he did read. He read a lot. So he loved to read. And I think that's part where I learned to appreciate to read at an early age. And now that I'm older, and I see how hard life, was for my grandparents and things like that, past generations, I don't want to take it for granted that I read and I can read, and I have the means to read. We have public libraries here. Even if you don't have money to buy books, you can still go to the library. That's free. So Yeah, yeah. So that's not gonna change. I still my appreciation for reading and books has not changed. Like I said, if anything, it's made me extra grateful. And then, but I do kind of want to share more about other stuff that I like. One of them being, um, I'm a crafty person. I am a creative person. And before I joined BookTube, my Instagram used to be dedicated to was a crafting account. I shared paper crafts, I shared planning videos, I shared scrapbook layouts, all of the crafty, colorful things. That still is my gem, but in different ways now. Um, so I'm probably still going to be sharing some of that here and there mixed in with all of, while I'm talking about books or a book, I might be doing a craft, and I'll be talking about the book or things like that, like in my reading vlogs and stuff like that. I don't really want to just show the book side of, I don't know. I hope that makes sense. It's still going to be reading vlogs and all that, but I'm just going to include my life a little bit more because I also do kind of want to document parts of my life. Because this is kind of like, a video journal, and I think when I was a scrapbooker, I focused a lot on like the pictures and things like that. But now I'm more of I like to journal more now. But recording this video, for example, kind of documenting when my first surgery was, like, I'll keep it forever. So yeah, I hope that makes sense. Let's see what else. I think that's about it when it comes to like my YouTube channel. I'm probably just going to be including, either if I'm cooking, what I'm cooking, and then, like right now I'm actually creating, I saw this on Pinterest. So I'm making like a heart, but it's like going to be like a nopal. I'm not done with it yet, but yeah, so things like that. I am revamping my studio. I don't know if you can see up here. This used to be pink. The shelf up here used to be pink. Now it's yellow. And yeah, I've been doing stuff around my studio, to kind of, like not show, but like, I'm just very inspired right now. I think because of what I went through, I'm very, very much inspired. So I am doing anything and everything that I can. There's still some like weight restrictions that I can't lift and things like that. So it's kept me from doing other projects that I want to do. And I'm probably going to include some gardening stuff in here too, because I want to garden this year. So I'm probably going to share little clips, like montages of that, in my reading vlog. So I hope you guys stick around and enjoy that. I am a very multifaceted person. I am a creative person with ADHD, so things get pretty wild around here sometimes around the house. So yeah. Now that update is out of the way, last week was library week, like library appreciation week or something like that. I saw a few YouTubers talk about it, and I really wanted to do a video and stuff because I do love my library. And when I was a teenager, I used to volunteer during the summers at my local library, putting up papers and all that stuff, like all the announcements around our little city library. So yeah, I love the library, and I do have some books. Let me show you. I do have a whole bag of books from the library, and yeah, I also have my Libby account pulled up on the computer because I also have some ebooks out right now. And I think I just returned a few that I read last week. So I'll see if I can look at like my history and things like that. So I can kind of talk about the books that I have checked out of the library. These books are all due this Friday, but I'm going to be returning probably 2 by the time Friday gets around. I'll be returning 2 and renewing the rest because I have not gone through those, because I also have some NetGalley books that I want to talk about. Anyways, it's like kind of like a life update and like haul of some sort video, I guess. I don't know. I really don't have a plan. I was talking to my parents this morning. I'm like, I'm gonna film a video for tomorrow. So it is what it is. Okay, so let's get started. The first book that I have checked out is Annihilation by Jeff Vandermeer. I just read this yesterday. This is one of the books I will be returning because I'm already done with it. But this book was so good. Honestly, I thought it was going to be hard to get in because it's sci-fi. And sometimes sci-fi, depending, it takes me a little bit. Like I have to reread the first few chapters a few times and then I'm into it. But this one was just captivating. The stakes are right at the beginning, so it grips you. This is about an Area X, and it's this kind of piece of land that they don't understand how everything works or how it's all like all the different kinds of environments that are technically all over the different parts of the world are also all in that same like land. And they send explorers to go and investigate and figure out, discover what this land is and how it works. And there's creatures that they don't even know about. And yeah, I mean, there's scientists, right? Explorers. So this is following 4, and they're the 12th group, I believe. They're the 12th group to go into that land, and then things happen. People go missing. Some pass away. But yeah, it's kind of poetic also in a way, like the whole, like the symbolism in here, and then how the narrator of the book, which is the biologist, the way she writes and the way she explains things, and I liked it. I really, really, really liked it. It went by fast too. I should say that. It took me like 3 or 4 hours to read this. Yeah. The next book I am actually currently reading, and it is The Honey Bus, a memoir of loss, courage, and a girl saved by bees. Yeah, by bees. I just finished the first chapter last night. It was like 34 pages. This is for an in-person book club that I'm part of. And this is, like it says, a memoir of a girl, now a woman, and she's recounting the story of her parents' divorce and how she came about to live with her grandparents. And her grandpa was a beekeeper, and how she learned about life through caring and learning about the bee and beekeeping and all that. The first, like the prologue, and then the first chapter. Well, in the prologue, you learn kind of one of the main perspectives, I feel like, as to like how she learned life through beekeeping and things like that with her grandpa. And the first chapter was about her parents and, like, I guess what led to their separation and things like that. Well, at least that's what she remembers that happened. I'm not sure if later she's going to go into more detail as to like the why, because we don't really know the why just yet, because she's only recounting it as her point of view from when she was a little girl. So I think it's going to be sad, but I think it's also going to be really beautiful, how she's going to correlate, how bees work and like how their system to how human nature, and how we work and all that. So I'm excited to keep reading this. So this is probably going to be the second book that I'll be done by the end of this week. So I'll probably end up returning it to the library. So yeah. And then now we're going into the rest of the books I have checked out that I have not read and that I'm going to be renewing this coming Friday. The first is The Hacienda by Isabel Cañas. I've checked it. I think this is like my second time checking this book out. And then the first time I returned it because I just was not in the mood to read it. And honestly, I don't know what it is, but I'm not that in the mood right now to read it either. So my hope is that once I read the other books that I'm about to show you, I'll end up reading this. I think it's because I've heard about like the romance parts of the book, and I don't want to say I'm not craving a romance, but yeah, so I don't know. Watch. I'm probably gonna end up loving this book or something, but I believe this is like the hacienda is haunted and this girl is taken there, I'm not sure if to live or something like that. But I believe it's mainly like a house haunting, and then she has to rely on the priest, and then the priest has to do, I think he's like a witch or whatever, but I'm not 100% sure. We'll see. But on the top it says Mexican Gothic meets Rebecca in this debut supernatural suspense novel set in the aftermath of the Mexican War of Independence about a remote house, a sinister haunting, and a woman pulled into their clutches. I read Mexican Gothic. I love Mexican Gothic. I have not read Rebecca, but I heard it's really, really good too. So now I am kind of low-key wanting to read this book next. We'll see. We'll see what I end up doing. The next book is part of Olivia Reads a Latte, her book club, and it's A Tempest of Tea. So I checked it out to read it for that. This one is, I believe it's a YA fantasy. So I don't know much about this book, but I do like the cover. It reminds me of, I think it was Anastasia, I believe. I'm excited. Don't know much about it, but it has to do with vampires and tea and a self-made, I think, society or self-made kingdom. It says, led by an orphan girl willing to do whatever it takes to save her self-made kingdom. So, yeah. A Tempest of Tea. Don't know much about it, but excited to read it. And then the last physical book that I have from the library, I saw also online a lot, and it's The Warm Hands of Ghosts. No, you know where I saw this? I think it was a Spanish, like from Spain, YouTuber, booktuber, and she read this and recommended it, and I found but she read it, I think, in Spanish, and I got this one, the English version. This is The Warm Hands of Ghosts by Catherine Arden. It seems like it's a brother and sister, like, relationship book, with ghosts, I think, and like war trauma and all that. So I'm excited to read this because, like I said, that specific booktuber, I really always enjoy her recommendations. A lot of them are like historical fiction or historical fantasy. So yeah, I do really trust her like book opinions. So I'm excited to read this. I think I want to read this after the Honey Bus, but we'll see. And then let me turn on the computer. So the next book that I have checked out of the library right now, as an ebook, is Bless Your Heart by Lindy Ryan. I'll probably post a picture somewhere here or on this other side. I don't know. And that one, it kind of gave me a little bit of the vibes of the Jimi Hendrix one, the vampire one, the Southern Guide to Slaying a Vampire, I think it is. Because again, it's another southern, like it'll have like that southern charm. I feel like this family owns a funeral parlor, and I believe one of the people that they took in comes back to life and they are vampires or something like that. And then they have to figure out how to stop them. Um, and yeah, I think it's just going to have that Southern charm to it, like the Jimi Hendrix book did. And I'm excited for that. So that is Bless Your Heart. That is currently all the books I have right now checked out from the library. I do have a few holds. One of them is Psychopath. It's like another memoir book. And then the second book of Jeff Vandermeer of this trilogy. They have it at a different, they have the book available, but it's in a different location and it's like 40 minutes for me. So I just requested it so they can bring it to the closest library that is closest to my house. So yeah. So I will see you guys again next week. Let me know what you guys want to know, or not know, like, let me know what you guys want to see more. Like, I know I want to do more vlogs and things like that, but do you guys prefer like video wrap-ups, or do you prefer one or two book reviews? That way it's like shorter videos, but I can do it more often and like actually go in depth into like my book reviews without spoilers, or maybe have spoilers at the end. I don't know. Let me know. I'm open to ideas. I do have a lot of different plans and my own ideas I want to do, but I also want to hear back from you guys now that I've been doing this for about 2 months, what you guys would like to see. Yeah, I hope you guys have a great week. I hope, the weather starts acting more normal because right now it's very crazy. It'll snow, rain, and there will be sunshine all in a week right now. And yeah, I'm struggling with that. But anyways, yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.